Imagine this. You're standing in a room filled with people, all of them holding their phones, their fingers flickering across screens, like moths drawn to artificial light. Some are swiping left, swiping right, searching for something, someone they haven't met yet. Others are typing messages to lovers they've never touched. The air hums with the scent of modern love, a paradox of infinite choices and profound complexities. You watch as a woman laughs at a message, then immediately checks another notification. A man across the room stares at a photo, zooming in. Everyone here is connected, yet no one is truly seen. The question lingers, unspoken but deafening. Why does love, in an era of unprecedented access, feel so hollow? We've been sold a fantasy that love should be effortless, that the right person is just a swipe away, and chemistry can be algorithmically perfected. But the reality is stranger, darker. The more options we have, the less we commit. The more we communicate, the less we connect. We've conflated convenience with closeness, mistaking the adrenaline of a new match for the slow, sacred burn of real intimacy. What if the problem isn't that we're bad at love, but that love itself has been redefined into something unrecognizable? What if the very systems designed to bring us together are the ones pulling us apart? We scroll through curated profiles, comparing real people to digital ghosts, measuring flesh and blood relationships against the highlight reels of strangers, and in the process, we've forgotten how to ache, how to wait, how to truly want another human being. And so the great contradiction emerges. We are more connected than ever, yet more alone. We have more ways to say I love you, yet fewer ways to mean it. The modern world has given us everything, except the one thing we crave most, the certainty of being known, being loved. This is the silent and yet a great crisis we are going to discuss in this mind-grappling episode, at the Philosopher's Night. We will address this great paradox of modern love. A story of romance, a story of truth, a story of betrayal. So without further ado, let the journey begin. And please hit the subscribe button, as it really means a lot. So, here we go. The unsettling truth is that the modern love isn't failing by accident, it's crumbling by design. Beneath the glossy surface of dating apps and instant romance lies a deeper, more insidious force, one that preys on our most primal fears and desires. To understand it, we must step into the shadows of human psychology, where ancient instincts collide with digital dystopia. Consider the words of Arthur Schopenhauer, who considered love to be a trick, played by nature, an illusion that compels us to reproduce, only to leave us disillusioned once its purpose is served. Today, that trick has evolved. We are no longer merely seduced by biology, we are ensnared by algorithms, by the dopamine-driven machinery of infinite choices. Every swipe is a gamble, every match a fleeting hit of validation. But like all addictions, we are only left chasing the high fades, and always lost in making the next phantom connection. Carl Jung warned of this shadow. The shadow, according to Jung, is the repressed, unconscious parts of ourselves we refuse to face. Modern love thrives in this shadow we project onto others. The fantasies we've been sold, the perfect partner, the effortless romance, the happily ever after that requires no sacrifice. These are all part of the grand illusion we have been sold, according to Jung. But these projections are ghosts. They dissolve upon contact, leaving us bewildered, asking, why does nothing feel real anymore? Friedrich Nietzsche saw this coming. He spoke of the concept of the last men, a society so consumed by comfort and convenience that it no longer had the stomach for passion, for struggle, for the raw, untamed vulnerability that real love demands. And here we are, scrolling past human beings as if they were products, discarding them at the first sign of friction, mistaking the absence of pain for the presence of happiness. But the most damning of all revelation comes from Jean-Paul Sartre. Hell is other people, not because others are cruel, but because they reflect back to us the parts of ourselves we cannot bear to see. Modern love, with its curated profiles and performative intimacy, allows us to hide. We present polished versions of ourselves, terrified that the real thing, which is flawed, messy, achingly human, will be rejected. And so we remain strangers, even in each other's arms. This is the hidden problem. We have built a world where love is commodified, where connection is transactional, and where the greatest taboo is no longer sex or sin, but depth. The system around us rewards speed, novelty, disposability. But the heart? The heart still beats to an ancient rhythm, one that algorithms will never understand. The question isn't why does love feel so hard? But what have we allowed love to become? And where are we heading? The consequences are already here, and they are far more ingrained in complexities than we dare admit. The time has also come for societies to come together, address this issue and try mitigate it. But before we go there, before we address this fallout on intimacy, let us go a little in depth, a little further, a little deeper in this subject. The fallout of this silent war on intimacy is everywhere. If you know where to look, it's in the way lovers lie side by side in bed, scrolling through separate realities. It's in the hollowed-out marriages that persist as empty rituals, two strangers orbiting each other out of habit rather than hunger. It's in the rising tide of loneliness that cuts across age, gender, and geography, a paradox so glaring, it borders on absurdity. Cognitive science reveals a cruel mechanics at play here. Our brains did not evolve for infinite choices. The prefrontal cortex, the seat of decision-making, buckles under the weight of endless romantic options, leading to what psychologists like Barry Schwartz called the paradox of choices. The more options we have, the less satisfied we become with any of them. Swiping becomes its own end, a compulsive itch that replaces the harder, richer work of commitment. We don't choose partners. We audition them. We try to trap them in a perpetual casting call where no one gets the part. Neurologically, we're caught in a feedback loop, designed to addict rather than fulfill. Each notification, each match, delivers a micro-hit of dopamine, the same neurotransmitter that is implicated in gambling and drug addiction. But unlike a slot machine, love was never meant to be a game of intermittent rewards. But today, we've been reduced to a skin of boxes, pressing levers in hopes of a reward that never comes. But the most insidious consequence is that we are forgetting how to be alone. Not in the superficial sense, but in a way philosopher Rilke meant when he wrote, "Love consists in the two souls protecting, touching and greeting each other." This crisis is no longer looming, it's here. We've engineered a world where love is both omnipresent and out of reach, where the very tools meant to bring us together have become the walls that keeps us apart. But this is not the end of the story. Because somewhere, beneath the rubble of broken connections, the human heart still remembers another way. A way, a path, that begins with a rebellion. The rebellion begins with a single, blasphemous thought. What if the system is lying to me? What if love was never meant to be fast, easy, or endlessly renewable, but something slower, darker, and more sacred? History's greatest lovers knew this. They wrote letters that took weeks to deliver, endured separations that lasted years, loved with a depth that modern romance dismisses as madness. They understood what we've forgotten, that true love demands sacrifice. The first act of defiance is to reject the tyranny of choices. Choose someone. Not because they're perfect, but because you're willing to be imperfect together. The Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard warned of the aesthetic life, one spent chasing novelty and sensation, always hungry, never satisfied. Next, reclaim solitude. Pablo Neruda wrote, "Love is so short, forgetting is so long. Sit with yourself. First. Let the silence teach you what you really want, not what the algorithm says you should want." Only from this place of wholeness can you love without desperation, without the silent plea of complete me. Then, embrace friction. Modern love sells the fantasy of effortless compatibility, But the ancients, from the Taoists to Rumi, they knew better. Conflict isn't the death of love, it's the fire that forges it. The Japanese art of kintsugi repairs broken pottery with gold, honoring the cracks as part of the object's history. Do the same with relationships. Stop discarding at the first sign of rupture. Lean into the discomfort. Finally, destroy the performance. Stop staging your love life for an audience that doesn't matter. Let your relationships be messy, private, unphotogenic. As D.H. Lawrence raged against the industrialization of sex, we must now rage against the commercialization of intimacy. And put love and intimacy back in the place where it always belonged, where it always should have been, where it can grow wild again. This is the rebellion. To love slowly, to choose deliberately, to stay in a world that does not profit from your loneliness. But there is more to it than meets the eye. One more secret, one more revelation, and it's more profound. Because none of this is really about love at all. It's about something far greater. And the truth will change everything. Here is the secret, the crux, and the heart of it all. Modern love isn't failing because we're bad at relationships. It's failing because we've forgotten how to be human. The crisis of intimacy is not a romantic problem. It's a spiritual one. We've been asking the wrong question all along. We keep searching for how to be loved, when the real mystery is how to exist. How to stand naked before another soul, without shame, how to inhabit our own lives so fully that love becomes an extension of being, rather than a desperate compensation for lack. The 13th century poet Rumi knew this when he wrote, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it." Viktor Frankl, surviving the horrors of Auschwitz, discovered that those who found meaning, even in suffering, could endure anything. We suffer now not from concentration camps, but from a different kind of emptiness, the void of a world that treats people as disposable pleasures. Yet the solution is the same. We do not find love by making it our goal. We find love by becoming the kind who is capable of loving and being loved. This is the ultimate paradox. The more frantically we seek love, the more it eludes us. But when we turn inward, when we grapple with our solitude, our fragile, magnificent humanity, love ceases to be something we chase. It becomes what we are. The Japanese have a concept, kintsukuroi, the art of golden repair. But what if we applied this not just to broken objects, but to broken selves? What if every heartbreak, every failed connection, every lonely night wasn't proof of our inadequacy, but the raw material of our becoming? The final truth is very simple. Love was never about finding the right person. It was about being the right person. Not perfect, but present. Not flawless, but free. Free to choose. Free to risk. Free to look at another human being and say with all the weight of your existence, "I see you. Let us be lost together." So put down the phone. Step away from the screens. Let the world in. Its smells, its textures, its unbearable, beautiful reality. The cure for modern love isn't in another app, another hack, another list of rules. It's becoming real again. And watch as the world, and everything in it, including love, becomes real with you. The rest is silence. The rest is yours.